Hey everyone, I want to talk to you a little bit today about taking face-offs in sledge hockey. It's a great skill to have. A lot of players I find are just doing the same old thing. So we're going to show you a couple different techniques today. One of the first things you want to do before you get into the draw is, if you are the centerman, you always want to communicate with your defenseman and the rest of your line, if you can, where you're planning to pull that puck back to. But beyond that, your focus is on, what's the other player doing and what technique do I want to do or use to win that draw. So a couple things to consider in sledge hockey is, how do you want to line up in relation to the ref and in relation to your other player? And is your other player a double amputee, or does he have legs? And how that factors into both their skill and their technique and yours, and how you want to use that to your advantage. So for example, a couple things I'm going to think about first are that at all times, if I can, I'd rather line up facing the referee so I can kind of watch his hand and his elbow, versus if he's behind me, I not only have to deal with viewing the puck drop differently, but because in sledge hockey, when you're trying to win a draw, you're going to want to choke up on your stick. My picks can end up hitting his shin pads or his legs. And then depending on how he's standing and how the draw happens, I can end up hitting his leg, and that interferes with me trying to win the draw. So in most cases, if this was, I'm in my defensive zone right now, it's always going to happen that the ref's going to line up on the outside, which is to my benefit, and I can line up with my back to the net. And I'm going to want to think about a few things, such as, am I going to want to win the draw under the front of my sled or behind me? And what is this player doing? So if this player, depending on how I know what his skill level is like, if he's really strong on draws or weak, for example, a lot depends on style, is, do I want to face opposite to where he's lined up, or do I want to face shoulder to shoulder? Because they're different techniques. If I'm facing opposite to him, as I try to kind of scoop the draw back to me, he's going to be doing the same. So our sticks are going to collide. They're going to be apart, collide, and then it's more about strength, about can I overpower him to go under, or can I draw the puck back off of his blade behind me to my winger or defenseman. And if I know, or if I feel like I can't win against him that way, I'm going to want to pivot my body so that I'm lining up with him shoulder to shoulder. And then in this case, I'm not thinking about playing against him in a scoop. Either I'll try and get there before he does, or another technique is I'll try and punch his hand out of the circle. As the ref drops a puck, I'm going to punch his hand before the puck hits the ice, and then I'll have a clean draw back. So think about if you want to line up opposite to your player or beside him, and how your strengths play as opposed to his strengths. Now, if I'm lining up opposite to him, pretty simple, is that you want to choke up on your stick. A lot of players, when they're taking face-offs, they'll be sitting here and they'll have their hand in a position where they would normally just receive a pass about 3/4 of the way down the stick. You want to get to the bottom of the blade, which is near the heel, or even more. I can get, 1/4 of the way into the blade, so I have maybe only about 6 or 8 inches showing. And then I can just focus on more strength and leverage getting that puck off of his stick. You'll also want to protect your fingers. So it's really easy to end up getting your hands jammed by the end of your opponent's blade. So what you want to do with your glove is, I'm going to want to basically curl my 4 fingers in first, and then I'm going to curl curl the thumb of my glove as well. But then I'm going to use the thumb to protect my fingers. So when I go in there, if their blade's going in hard, it's hitting the thumb, versus me going in with an open hand, and I can end up getting the top of my fingers either cut open or just jammed really hard, which hurts like hell. So choke up on the stick. I'm going to use my thumb to protect the rest of my fingers. And then what I'll do, not all players do, but if you've seen in other drills, I'll lean to the outside, plant my stick, and then that helps, again, me center myself down into the ice, plant my core, so I'm a lot stronger in my position to win that draw. And then I'm gonna think about either in front of me or behind me. So the most simple way to win a draw is just by going under your sled. You're gonna have your outside stick planted. I'm gonna lean on my left blade as I'm taking a draw on the inside of with my right hand. And you're just gonna win the draw straight back to your D-man. Another way is I can think about if I wanna win it behind me, I actually might position myself further towards the ref, or so my hips are more in line with the center, so that when I win the draw, I can just go straight back, but I'm not gonna hit my blades. I don't wanna go straight into my blades, I wanna go behind me. Now, in this case, you know, I'm drawing towards the net, so it's not my most ideal scenario there. However, if in this case, the opponent was facing me, and I knew I could win him going in opposite directions, I'll move forward, lean out, and then I can scoop it behind me back into the corner. You also wanna think about where is your body position in relation to that face-off circle, and how that can both be an advantage and a disadvantage. So if I want to, for example, beat my opponent by simply like kind of punching his hand out of the way, I might want to get to the circle before he does, so I can kind of crowd the dot. And what I'll do is I'll have my body and legs line up on the edge of the circle, so that when I put my stick down, my hand is already kind of covering, you know, half of the circle, and where he might line up on the outside, I've got less distance to kind of come, and I can steal the face off that much easier. If I wanted to kind of try and just fight against him and leverage my strength over his, I might leave more space so that I just know that I'm gonna have to pull against his stick, and I can just kind of win by using this range for my power to kind of pull him towards me, where a puck will sometimes just get locked vertically between the two of your sticks, and then I'll just muscle my way out. And as you're doing that, if you've got your outside hand planted and I'm trying to just muscle my way, I'll, you know, kind of lean, and I'll purposely pivot my body so I have more leverage to pull that puck down into the corner. So another thing to consider when trying to win a draw is if you want to just tie up your man, especially if you want to kill the clock at the end of the game or during a penalty. And so when the puck's dropped, what you want to do is just essentially fall over, and you don't want to fall over on your guy and get your man and get a holding penalty, but you're going to want to fall over so that you can kind of protect the puck and keep it cradled in front of you, and he'll be here battling, but by doing this, it's in front of me, I can kind of pull it in towards my body, and when it's down here, it's hard to pull out. And depending on how this man plays the puck, if I want to play the puck myself, as I'm down here laying down, a quick move is I got it protected, pull it up to my left hand, and win it back to my D-man. It all depends on how that guy is. Like, you don't want to be laying down. For example, if you're trying to protect some pucks, and you get someone dirty, they'll be trying to like just jab at you. You don't want to like get, you know, a stick in the ribs, but you know, just falling down, protecting it, cradling it, pulling it in towards your body, and then depending on if you can create some space with that man or your defenseman comes in, now you can get control of the puck and then keep going. Hopefully those tips give you some confidence in taking draws. It takes a lot of practice. Like I said, it takes a lot of strength, focusing on having a strong core when you're planted in the ice, focusing on a strong wrist, and trying to predict what is your opponent going to do and what are your strengths at, help you win some draws in sledge hockey. Hey everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. It means the world to me if you could leave a comment below. Please tell me what we could do differently, any ideas for a future video. We're putting out content every single week here to educate people and let people know more about how to play the sport of sledge hockey. So please hit subscribe here on YouTube, and if you would like to learn more, visit playsledgehockey.com.